want to make sure we're going here. Give me a minute or a second. Yeah, what's weird about LinkedIn Live, it's not like you have 1,000 messages going out to people. You know what I mean?
Is there a way for me to share it with my LinkedIn folks?
Yeah. So once I do it, it'll be on mine, and I can just pass it over and share. You can just hit share.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'll show you all that. But it's kind of weird the way they do it. But anyway, excited to have you, to shoot the shit. I love what you do. I love the company, which I've dived more in today, but I love your style, right? And I think your style is kind of like my style. You're that entrepreneurial leader, but you've also been running a successful business for 20 years. So it's not new to you. I think you're killing it on Instagram, and I think your messages that you post there would resonate on LinkedIn like crazy. So I was excited to get you. Like I said, shoot the shit for a couple minutes. Let me ask you this. Let me start with this, right? I put out who you were, and I think a lot of people were excited. Let's go back a month ago, right? I'm curious. A guy like you runs an unbelievable company, which I think will be even more successful now because of what we're in. But behind closed doors, right? I watch all your Instagram stuff and I love it. It's always like a lesson, a quick lesson. But what are you telling your team and your company, right? It's a pretty big company, behind closed doors when all this shit happened. Let's go back a month and a half ago. What's the, you're this motivational guy, you're running a big business, but all of a sudden, this shit hits us, COVID, right?
Yeah.
What are you telling your team? How you keeping cool, and what are you doing?
Well, I was fortunate that we're all digital. So believe it or not, we didn't get affected at all. I just let everybody work from home, and we didn't skip a beat.
That's awesome.
But originally, I'm in Las Vegas. So I know people in Las Vegas, and I know people that are working for these armored trucks, and they're carrying out billions of dollars out of these casino vaults. Now, these casino vaults, they're pretty secure. So for you to remove the cash, I thought something massive was going on. Quite frankly, in the very beginning, I was like, there's something going on because this is just too crazy. So what I assumed, and I erred on the side of caution, is I told everybody to go home, quarantine, take it very seriously, because I think it's worse than they're telling us.
Yeah.
Why are they shutting down the economy over a 6% death rate, which people are like, what do you mean? That's a lot. Folks, the whole world wouldn't shut down because 6% of the population is going to die. That, the flu does that, like all kinds of things. They let us smoke, drunk driving kills more people. Hunger kills more people.
Yeah.
So they're not shutting down the world because people are hungry. So at the end of the day, I thought it was way worse. I thought they were trying to keep us calm. I thought it was bio-warfare from China. We are all in big trouble. Go home, keep your hands clean, stay away from people. And then I started to realize, hey, this isn't really as advertised. I was watching the data come in. I was listening. I was paying attention. I wasn't just believing everything on mainstream media. So I kind of changed my tune over the next couple of weeks. But at first, I just said, listen, I'd take this very seriously. Go home. Do not go around people. I believe that this is a bio warfare and it's going to get nasty. That's what I thought.
So did you have, right, and it seems from what I know, you're that CEO, rah-rah, the office, everyone, fired up, right? How were you able to deal with not being around everybody?
Well, ultimately, if you have a good culture, that culture goes home with you.
I get it. Yeah.
So we would jump on a Zoom call every Monday minimum.
Real.
Yeah, every Monday, jump on a Zoom call, make sure everyone was doing well, make sure everyone had what they need. We deployed a software where we could, if you called my office, it would ring the person's cell phone. So, other than just having random, face to face in the office, it was good. Believe it or not, man, I've only brought about 30% of my people back. 70% of my people preferred to work at home.
And they're kicking ass. That's what we're saying.
they're kicking ass, and we're getting more done. And quite frankly, I've got 30,000 square feet, and now, 2/3 of it's empty. And I'm thinking, dude, they're using their own water, their own pens, their own bags. I'm like loving it, quite frankly.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So let me ask you this, right? As a CEO, successful business, right? A public figure, people following you. I get hundreds, if not thousands, of messages a week about, Jeff, give me some advice. I'm trying to find a job, even pre-COVID, right? Now, pre-COVID, if you were looking for a job and it was tough, there's something deeper. But from someone that hires a lot of people, you've been around it all, what piece of advice for anyone out there looking for a job? Like, what's important to you when an interview comes in that they better have?
Well, I ask questions that are a little bit unorthodox. Like, I want to know if someone feels,
I love it.
I want to know if they feel like they're lucky. Anyone that tells me that they are not a lucky person, I'm not interested in. I check their mindset, their mindset, their perspective, and their empathy. I can teach skill. I'm looking for people. Like, in other words, when people say, man, I'm looking for a really good salesperson. Well, the word person is in that, right? So I'm looking for the good person.
And you'll train the rest.
Yeah, then I'll train the rest. So I'm looking for good, honest, ethical people with empathy. But, a couple of times before COVID, I would have people tell me, they're looking, there's just no jobs out there. And again, that's just a stupid perspective. That's totally nonsense. I told one of my buddies, let's go to the mall. He goes, well, I don't want to work at the mall. I said, you're not going to work at the mall. We went down to the mall. I just walked up to people, started introducing myself. Hey, what's your name? My name's Brad. Hey, let me ask you a question. What do you do for a living? I do this. I'm like, hey, if I could drive you some business, would you give me a commission? They're like, yeah. Boom, there's a job.
Yeah.
Right. By the time I left the mall, the guy had 15 job offers. Guess what? Oh, I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
People say they want something, but they're not willing to map their action.
About LinkedIn, an article came out a year ago. The average person runs to the job board and just hits the resume. And 80% of companies don't post anymore. So it's about, just like you did, let's go out to them.
I don't even look at resumes.
Exactly.
Resumes tell me nothing.
So this is huge because this is my audience. So we're on the same page. How do they come to you? These people, like, those are the people you talk to. You want the ones that reach out to you or walk in your office or email you?
No, the people I'm looking for aren't unemployed.
Got it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the people I'm looking for have a job and they're highly valued where they are. And I usually have to hire a recruiter or a headhunter to go get them for me.
That's what we do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're out of a job, what's the reason, right? Now, and by the way, obviously there's some cases where good people are out of a job
nowadays. Yeah. 3 months ago, no.
Yeah, but for the most part, I'm looking for someone that has a job. In other words, the people I'm looking for aren't looking for me.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I was doing something. I was telling you with Ryan Serhant in New York, and I had to keep reminding them these people are highly paid, loving what they do. So you got to kind of sell a little bit, get them excited. But the same thing, right? You're looking for the person that's happy where they're at. You're just going to make them happier.
You got to offer them some opportunity, some real opportunity.
Yep. So in your business, where do you see it going for my clients out there that sell, office supplies, right? I work with one of the largest ones, right? Now they're having issues bringing people in, training them. So your company can go in, put together a training for these people to start to learn what these companies do from afar.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Lightspeed VT, which is a web-based interactive training and communication technology I developed over the last 20 years, almost by accident, is used mainly for training, but a lot of companies are starting to use it for marketing. Why? Well, because it allows you to create interactive content. Now, why would you drive 1 million people to a video that just plays? It doesn't ask questions.
Yeah.
It doesn't adapt to who's watching it. It doesn't upsell you on the spot with perfect timing. It's just I call them dead videos. So people, believe it or not, are just coming into video. And like, I've been doing interactive video for 20 years. So it's evolved into more than just a training system. However, we specialize in training people. I discovered, as I went out and started a training company myself, like the Grant Cardones, the Tony Robbins, I did that.
Yep.
I became unbelievably effective at sales. So then I really had a knack to explain things simply. People think in mental images. So a lot of times people want to use these big words. Well, if you use a word to impress me, that a word, like, man, the ubiquitous, look, people see mental images. So you have to use words that make people see a picture. I'm good at it. So I can train very well. So I went out and quit my job because I trained this guy and changed his life, and I got hooked on helping other people. So I'm like, man, this is fun. I got to go train people. When I went out on the road, I started to realize, and I hadn't realized this previously, companies don't understand there's 4 key ingredients that must be present in order to effectively train, keyword being effectively, okay? You need good content. Why? Well, because if you train them effectively to do it wrong, they'll do it wrong. Yep. So you need the right way to do it. Most companies have the good content, okay? Then you need repetition. That's why school is 12 years, not 12 days. Okay, you need repetition. Most companies will not deliver the repetition necessary to actually learn. So they're not really training people, they're just exposing people. Okay, then you're going to need practice. Okay, most people are not afforded the time to practice. Okay, and then you're going to need accountability, which 9 times out of 10 is never there. And if you put those 4 ingredients into your business with your training program, because that's what most people have. They have a training program.
Yeah.
You develop a training system. And once you do it with me, I can show you how to enhance live training by pre and post application. I can show you how to train remote, where I can train someone just as good as you can in person for a fraction of the cost, and ultimately use the same system to attract and assess those people. Like, imagine driving someone to a website. This is just a prospect. You didn't hire him yet. You pop up and interactively ask a few questions. And because of the buttons they choose, you're not even interested in discussing it.
Got it.
So I can literally turn down an applicant, perfectly compliant, by the way, without even talking to the client, without bothering any of my current employees. Why? Because I'm going to virtualize. I'm going to make an interactive video that would do what I would hope my manager did if they walked into my business. Are you a felon? Like, people want to sell insurance, right? They're recruiting people left and right. Insurance, health insurance, life insurance. Well, you have to have an insurance license. Well, you can't get one, apparently, if you're a felon, from what I hear. So they told me that 60% of the people they interview are qualified. I'm like, what about the other 40%? Oh, they've got felonies or whatever reason. This is times 1,000. Like, how much time are you wasting figuring out whether they even qualify to work for your company?
You're talking to the guy who lives it every day. I'm with you.
Yeah, so we can create interactive assessments. So when someone says training, it goes way beyond that. But yes, we can help companies train people better, because we have the technology that we developed, which allows us to interactively deliver, track, and measure with repetition, practice, and accountability, simulations, things like that.
So it's got to be, a good time to be in that space right now. I got to imagine.
It's a hell of a time. I'll tell you, our business is up. Our revenues are about, they're a little bit up, but our business is way up. So how's that possible? Well, because I waived all our setup fees. I got rid of all the upfront expense. I want every business to have Lightspeed.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because I believe that people fail because they don't have the right information. There's people that can't find good employees because they don't have information you have. There's people that can't close a deal because they don't have the information I have. They can't generate leads because they don't know how to market. They don't know how to use Facebook. They don't know how to write copy. If we could just get the information from the people who have it to the people who need it, this world's going to be a better place. And that's my mission. So with this technology, my goal would be, you get born, you're going to get a social security number and a Lightspeed password. Right? And ultimately, everyone has a Lightspeed password, and that password will give them all access to all of the expertise, all of the things they need to win. Then it's just a matter of will. Like we'll provide the skill, you provide the will. If you're willing, I've got who would you rather learn from? Some professor in a college that cost $100,000 a year to go to, or the person that built the $3 billion company?
I get it. I love it. Let me ask you this, aside from business, I don't want to take up too much of your time, right? For the people watching, right? What's that one motto or one thing that you live by, right? Is there any something that you could teach us real quick?
Well, I don't know about real quick because again.
Okay, well, it doesn't have to be quick, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things. It just depends on the person and what their problem is. I think a lot of people's problem is they're trying to figure out how to grow and scale to the next level. And a lot of people don't understand, to get to the next level, you have to maximize the level you're on. Imagine if this was the level and you're right here and this is the next level. If you maximize this level, you're on the bottom of the next level. But most people just want to figure out how to get here without maximizing this one. So that'd be number one. But number two, I have what's called the sacred six. There's two things that I tell everybody if they want to succeed. I believe the sacred six and the $1 million morning.
I hear both of these.
Yeah, the sacred six is basically 6 things that need to happen. And once those things start happening, your life magically changes. So I think over the years, we've lied to ourselves. We've lied to others. We've procrastinated. We've let ourselves down. Just like any friend that would do that to us, we'd probably get rid of the friend. Problem is, we can't get rid of ourselves. So we develop an ego, and it's subconscious. We're unaware of this feeling about ourselves. But ultimately, it leads us to make choices that limit us. We believe that we're limited, and so we are limited. And ultimately, I believe it's because our subconscious mind remembers all the crap we've put ourselves through and all the lies and whatnot. So I want to remove all that with the sacred six. Number one, you have to basically apologize and forgive yourself. Wipe the slate clean so it starts fresh. Step two, you want to commit to do what you say you're going to do. Have ethics and integrity. Most people get anxious when they hear that, because ultimately, if I have to do everything I say, it's because they don't trust themselves. Is part of the problem. So once you commit to do what you say you're going to do, you can relax, because you get to decide. So just don't commit to so many things. Step three, you want to start racking up the wins instead of the losses. So you set 5 small goals a day. Small goals. Like if you get up at 8 o'clock, get up at 7:50. Things that you can attain, because your mind doesn't know the difference between a big win and a little win. So you want to start racking up the wins. Then you want to get rid of what I call the hate in the headlines, including your own. People self-talk. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I don't look that good. Oh man, I'm lazy. I need to be better at this. Self-talk, headlines, hate, get rid of it. Block out the negativity. Step 5 thing is visualize properly, see what it is you want to do. Most people don't understand. They're out there trying to build something. They don't even know what it looks like. Like, for example, if I said, walk into the room, find me, there's 1,000 people in the room, you need to find me, and you have no idea what I look like, how easy would it be? Figure out what success looks like. Everyone says, what's the key to success? There is no key. It's a combination. And everyone has their own. You have to figure out what success looks like to you, and then start going after it. Map your habits, your daily habits to those, and you'll get them. And then step 6 is seek new information, because if we want to change what we're getting, we have to change what we're doing. And to change what we're doing, we have to change what we believe, because our behavior is based on our beliefs. So to change what you believe is kind of tricky unless you know how. And the way you do it is you seek and get new information on a regular basis. The last time you changed your mind, Jeff, what was the purpose? Well, you changed your mind because you learned something new. You realized something. You got new information. So you do that. That's the sacred 6. Forgive yourself. Okay. Everyone deserves to win. Everyone deserves more than you're getting. Okay. And if your mind right now is saying, that's part of the problem. So forgive yourself. Commit, have ethics and integrity. Commit to do what you say you're going to do from now on. Okay. Rack up the wins. Start setting small goals. Quit worrying about the big goals we're taught to make, and worry about some small ones that you're going to rack up every single day. Weed out the hate and the headlines. Visualize and figure out what success looks like, and then start mapping your daily habits to those. And then number 6, seek new information on a regular basis. That's
huge, brother. That's good stuff.
those 6 things, Jeff, I'm telling you, what happens after 60, 90 days of doing this, automatically you'll start feeling a little more proud and deserving. And then you'll start to see the haters pop up. You know, hey, that's a little arrogant, Jeff. Oh, yeah. You're a big shot now, huh? You know, and you just get rid of all those people and you surround yourself with the right people. Problem is everybody's so worried about other people's judgment. They're so worried about the hate, they'll never find the love. You want to be you and you want to be authentic, because if it offends people and causes them to go away, what's more ideal? Being surrounded with everyone that loves you and wants you to win, or surrounded with a mix of people that love you and hate you? So be yourself, own what you think and say, and let the people that go. Okay, that's the sacred 6.
Guys, the people watching this, I mean, this is probably the most powerful lesson I've had on this. What's the next one? I'm hooked.
It's the $1 million morning. I call it that because at one point I realized, you know, let's say I gave you $1 million. Now, give me some adjectives, what you'd feel like. You know, most people will say, you know, oh, excited, enthusiastic, you know, relieved. You know, it's all of this great feeling, right?
Yeah.
So that's $1 million. Now, if I said I'll give you $1 million, but you're not going to wake up tomorrow, would you take the $1 million? People are like, well, of course not. Okay, so what you're saying and you're acknowledging is waking up is worth more than $1 million.
Love it,
isn't it?
100%.
Okay. So when you wake up in the morning, you have to realize you just got something more valuable than $1 million. What are you complaining about? It puts your perspective in a different mindset to where now you get to go to work. You get to, you know, my car's a piece of shit. Okay, I understand. But guess what? Wake up and realize how grateful you are to, number one, have a piece of shit. Okay? And now all of a sudden it's like, yes, my car's a piece of shit, but it's better. I'm alive.
It's running.
You get that gratitude by realizing the gift of waking up is worth more than $1 million. And believe it or not, I'll start calculating. If tomorrow was your last day, I'll give you $1 million. You say no. What about 2 million? Nope. 3 million? Nope. Dude, I'll give you $10 million, but today's your last day. Would you do it? Nope. Okay, so what you're saying basically is waking up is worth more than millions of dollars, but you wake up all pissy and depressed about shit.
This is fire, man. This is good shit.
Okay, so well, thank you, and it works on anybody.
This is the stuff I watch. That's why I was like, I gotta get Brad on here.
Yeah. Then the four key areas that you want to focus on is, number one, your health, because without your health, you'll give up your money. Trust me. So you want to focus on your health every morning. Now, if that's just getting your blood pumping and doing some squats, you know, well, I can't afford a gym membership. How about bend down? Okay, do a damn push-up. Quit making expenses. Quit making excuses.
Oh shit!
Lying to yourself, dude. This is a problem. This is what I mean. People subconsciously don't like themselves. That's why they give themselves resistance to do the easiest goddamn thing. Excuse me. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, there's no excuse. It's a choice. When it boils down to it, the choices you make determine the road you'll take. So when you wake up in the morning, first thing you need is that perspective. Once the perspective's in the right place, now what you want to do is you want to focus on your health. What's that mean? Dude, get your blood pumping, eat something right, okay? Eat one damn good meal and get your blood pumping. No matter how you have to do it, you don't need all this equipment. You don't need a trainer. Get your blood pumping. Then step 2, relationships is the new economy, dude. Every big deal I've made, traces back to someone I. The more hands you shake, the more money.
100%.
Guaranteed. So relationships, what do? Every morning, pick 5 relationships that you want to improve, send them a text, an email, or whatever, and just tell them you love them, you miss them, you appreciate them, whatever, positive. And you watch that relationship develop, because what we focus on grows and what we ignore dies. So if you want these relationships to grow, pick 5 a day and just send them a little love, right? Now it's relationships, and they will pay off tenfold. Okay. Now the third area that you want to focus on is your freaking money. Why? Well, very important, folks. Anyone that says money doesn't buy happiness just doesn't know where to shop. I'm telling you right now, if you had a relative that was dying of something and there was some crazy cure for $1 million and you have the money to get that cure, The money bought that cure, which is the happiness. Money can buy happiness. It may not, sustain happiness, and it doesn't mean you'll be happy because you have it. But trust me, folks, we have to unlearn the fact that money's not important. Money is very important. So I want you to focus on it every single morning by simply doing this. Write down 5 things every morning that drives revenue that you need to do before you go to bed. What do I need to do today to drive revenue? Because most people don't focus on it. And guess what? If you're not focused on it, it doesn't happen. Yeah. We go to work. We go to work with every day. It's like, dude, wake up and pay attention. Okay. Then the fourth one,
I freaking love it.
The fourth one is just read a book, a self-help nonfiction book, 10, 15 minutes every single morning. Crack open a book and just start reading. Why? Because it's going to give you new information. New information causes new beliefs. New beliefs causes new actions. New actions causes new results. If you're not happy what you're getting, change what you're doing. Folks, it's not rocket science, man. I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade because my dad kicked me out of the house for not mowing the lawn. Most people would say, oh, poor kid. Dude, I was elated. No more parents. I could do what I wanted. So I made some great choices, quit school, ran off to Hollywood to be a movie star, ended up broke, sleeping homeless on the beach. Most people say, what did you feel like when you hit rock bottom? Sleeping on the beach isn't rock bottom, people. It's a beach, number one. Number two, it was a choice, man. I could have went home. I didn't want to. It's choices. If you just make good choices, your life will improve. Most people don't understand. The choices you make determine the road you take. When you wake up, do I go work out? I'm going to rationalize. I'm going to justify. I'm going to freaking basically come up with all the reasons why I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And they'll sound good too. Yes, you should work out. Why? Because the second your health is gone, man, you're going to wish you could work out. Don't let things happen before you wake up. Wake up yourself right now. And if you're not woke up and you're not willing to, it's the first reason. You don't like yourself. You don't trust yourself. And ultimately, whatever reason, your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, somebody convinced you that you're a piece of shit and you're not worth anything, that is a lie. We are all individuals and we all deserve as much as anybody else. Jeff Bezos doesn't deserve more than you. He just believed more than you. You understand?
Wow, it's like, dude, I love it.
Everybody deserves something. So how do we get something? First thing you got to do is build the relationship with yourself. I believe that's the number one thing I can help people with, because there's too many people walking around with either an ego, like they think they deserve everything, but that's not really what they think. That's what their ego's telling them, because deep down, they're a scared little bitch that has been beat down, and the ego was developed to protect that little fella or little girl. Someone doesn't, in other words, the real them is scared. The real them is hurt. The real them is not in belief. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because years have went by. Have you ever procrastinated? I'm gonna start working out on Monday, and then Monday you don't. Dude, to yourself, that's a lie. You just let yourself down. Now, what if you had a friend that continually let you down, continually cheated on you, continually harmed you? Eventually you'd be like, go away. But you can't when it's you. So we protect ourselves with an ego. So there's people walking around thinking they deserve everything, but they really hate themselves. There's people that know they hate themselves, but they don't know why. That's why. So how do you fix it? Forgive yourself. Commit to do what you say you're going to do. Rack up the wins every single day. The haters and the negative shit talkers will pop out of everywhere. You'll be surprised who they are. And then just block them. You don't have to accept what they're saying anymore. Why? Because it's bullshit. And then guess what happens? After 60, 90 days, you start to feel a little better. You start to feel a little better, and then you get momentum, and you can't buy momentum. You have to earn it. And I'm telling you, when you start hitting that momentum, don't stop. Have you ever went to the gym? After about 2-3 weeks, you start to crave the gym.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Miserable. That's that momentum. When you get that momentum in life, Jeff, and you can't be stopped. I mean, we're doing 8 figures, almost 9 figures. And guess what? I'm a high school dropout. You know what? I went back got my GED. Well, now I've got 2 PhDs, 4 MBAs, 9 associates, and 12 bachelors. Now someone says, well, how did you do all that? I just hired them. Okay. You don't need to earn them when you can hire them.
I like that. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude, listen, I don't have to know everything. I just have to know someone who does.
I'm going to borrow that one. That's funny. Dude, you are the man. First, I'm excited to work with you. I know I'm going to learn a lot of shit along the way. But thank you. This is exactly the pep talk. Like, this is Instagram is awesome for that, but no one comes on here. And these are business professionals. Just because they wear a suit and tie or look good in their, their dress or whatever, doesn't mean they're feeling good, just like you said. And I think they needed to hear that today more than ever.
Well, that's more of a personal thing. But since we're on LinkedIn, let's put the business into things. Let me say one more thing for business.
Sure.
Okay. Now listen.
As much as you want, brother.
Well, I've made a ton of money for a lot of business owners back when I was working for people. And right now, there's no difference in what someone should do. If you guys really want a double business, whether you own the business or whether you're working at the business and you're responsible, it doesn't matter. Apply this, and I'm telling you, you'll see your business flourish. Number one, you want to focus on sales, customer service, compliance, and personal and team development. Why sales? Because revenue solves most problems. Okay? Again, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Okay. Too much money is
great.
a problem.
I'm with you, brother.
It solves problem. It allows you to hire better people, resources. So focus on sales, number one. Focus on customer service, number two, because you know what's worse than no customers? Pissed off customers.
Agreed.
If you and your entire team does not know how to love on customers, you better make sure that they do. So focus on customer service. Then you want to focus on compliance. Nowadays, inclusion, diversity, harassment, COVID, risk in my life, did listen. Dude, you can get put out of business real easy with frivolous lawsuits. Okay, so focus on compliance. Get your I's dotted and your T's crossed. That includes safety. That includes it all. Okay, and then the last one, personal and team development. Do you want to be better next month or not? Do you want better employees to continue to get better or no? You want everyone to stay the same? Well, of course, I want everyone to get better. Okay, well, then that's personal and team development. You have to have a plan. You have to focus on it. When you focus on it, it grows. When you ignore it, it doesn't. So if you go through a checklist in your mind, okay, sales, customer service, compliance, and personal and team development. Great. Now, what do I do? Well, here's what you do. You take good content, repetition, practice, and accountability and put it towards that area. So sales, dude, find the good content, give repetition, practice, and accountability. Accountability is key.
Yeah.
Put it towards your sales will double.
Now, when you say accountability, do you mean, checking up on them, or you didn't log in to do the studying? What do you mean?
Just not log in. Are you doing what we want you to do?
Got it. Calling them out on their bullshit.
Dude, holding them accountable. At the end of the day, it's your company, it's your brand. Why are you letting this asshole screw it up?
Yep.
Oh, I can't get my people to use it. Well, who's the boss? What if they don't show up for work? What are you running Seattle? Like, what are you talking about? Like, frick, people, you can't get them to show up for work, you fire them. You can't get them to train and develop and become better people, get rid of them.
Exactly.
Hey, they don't want to get rid of them. I'm scared to get rid of them. Why? Finding people's hard. Not when you can make people. Okay, when you have a training system, you can develop people left and right. What if there was a line of A players waiting to get in, and then you had that little smart mouth that wasn't willing to get better, wasn't willing to treat your customers any better, wasn't willing to treat themselves any better.
Yeah.
You'd be like, later, you'd bring in another A player. Right. Well, dude, people are afraid to get rid of people and hold people accountable because it's hard when you're managing a company to even know if someone understood what you said. Well, why aren't you testing them? I can't test 300 people in 7 different states. Yes, you can with Lightspeed or a system like mine. So at the end of the day, if you have a training system, not a training program, focus it on the sales team. And by the way, you don't need Lightspeed to do these things. I used to do it manually. It's just very expensive and time consuming and limited. So Lightspeed allows you to deliver good content with repetition, practice, and accountability into sales, and then hold people accountable. Okay. Number 2, same thing, customer service. Number 3, compliance, same thing. And then personal and team development. What plan do you have? Like in Lightspeed, there's something called a skill shop. I created it. It's all of my clients. You got Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Grant Cardone, Damon John, leadership experts, John Maxwell, Dave Anderson. You've got sexual harassment, OSHA safety training. You've got all of this personal and team development so people can go in. And here's what I did one time at a company. I said, what if I could show you all of the people that work for your organization that are unengaged, uninspired, and really uninterested? Well, boy, that'd be valuable. Well, yeah, because if you have an unengaged, uninterested, uninspired employee sitting there, I'm telling you, that's what I call a camouflaged hole. Like you think someone's in that position, but there's really nobody in that position.
Nobody, dead air.
Dude, and it's better to have nobody because at least you know there's a hole there.
Oh, and that bastard is always talking shit at lunch, or they're bringing others down.
Dude, so if you can identify them, how much is it worth? The guy said, man, that'd be worth a lot. I said, listen, here's what I'm gonna do. You spin up a Lightspeed system. You call one meeting, okay? You bring everybody in the company into the meeting, and you say, listen, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. That is why I created this system for you to get better, make more money, become more valuable to me, be more valuable to your spouse, more valuable to our clients. Like this system will make us more valuable. And here's your password. Feel free to eat as much as you like. Thank you for working here. We love you. And walk out the door. That's all you need to say.
That's it.
Now, 7 days later, give 7 days, just give them some time. Then press the button. It'll tell you who logged in and who didn't. Who learned, who didn't, who tried, who didn't. If anyone didn't log in after saying that, that is your problem. So you can instantly find engaged people. Now, what do you do with them? Here's what I recommend. Here we have a train, tolerate, or terminate policy. In other words, if you screw up, we're going to train you. Okay, we're going to tolerate you, or we're going to terminate you. That's it. That's the only 3 choices we have. Yeah. So we ask you, would you like to be trained? They say, yes, I'd like to be trained. Good. Well, then that makes you an apprentice. So I'm going to lower your pay 30% while you're in training to do the job I hired you to actually do. So you save 30% on payroll just like that. Now, if they don't want to train, well, then you can tolerate or terminate, and we don't tolerate. So really, there's only one option. Terminate. But see, I'm not afraid to terminate people. Do you know why? Well, because I can, number one, bring on new people because I have a training system. Number two, you want to talk about a screwed up culture. Let a C player hang around your A players. Your A players are going to turn into C players, or they're going to go away. Yeah. No pro wants to hang around some lump, okay, talking shit in the lunchroom, being cancerous, unwilling to improve, unwilling to get better, unwilling to learn and develop and grow. It's unbelievable.
And you said something that's huge, and it drives me nuts. And I have small and large clients everywhere, and this is where, you said it, you rolled over it, but I heard it. So many people say, Jeff, you know what? It's just cheaper to keep them. And I think that's bullshit, right? But they don't have a way to plug them in like you do. So it's going to take – essentially what they're saying is I'm lazy. I don't want to give them 20 hours of my time to train them.
It's either that or they don't know how. Because, again, when I show people Lightspeed, they're like, wow, we have an LMS. We have a learning management system. We have a training system online. And I'm like, well, are you doing this? 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 They're like, no. Okay, so guess what? Your LMS, a lot of these big companies, your LMS is a hosting solution. It's designed to hold your materials.
Yeah.
Lightspeed is designed to get you to learn the materials. Do you have a hosting solution or a training solution? Because 90% of the companies out there, they don't have a training system. They've got a training program. They've got a hosting solution that holds content. They make people go through it once. They check a box and say, I wonder why this person isn't learning. Well, what if I told you your ABCs once? What if I said, okay, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Got it? Let's go. Let's move on to arithmetic. Okay. No, dude, repetition.
I love it, man.
Repetition is the key to learning. Repetition.
It's why you're successful in your company is you're obviously putting that shit into play.
Our system is the only system on earth that allows you to create interactive content, deploy it, track it, and measure it with repetition. I call them revolutions. Like, how many revolutions do they need to go to go through?
Yeah.
Because number one, I wanted to say it was revolutionary. But number two, it's because, dude, nobody's doing it. When you look at these LMSs, well, can I see if they watch the video? Well, yeah, you can see if they watch the video. Oh, that's all I care about. Bro, just because you watch the video doesn't mean you learned anything. Okay, I watch mixed martial arts, doesn't make me a black belt.
I went through there.
Okay, you have to actually test them. You have to test them, and you have to measure their comprehension. And then you have to give them the ability to practice. Well, don't practice on real customers. Practice on virtual customers. Let's simulate some of those opportunities. The phone's going to ring. What do you want them to say? Do they know? Oh, well, they know. They passed the test. Okay, then let's randomly generate the phone ringing with virtual customers. Don't let them answer the real phone. You know how many times I've walked into a restaurant and I'm sitting there for 10, 15 seconds waiting on someone to locate the no onions button?
That's great.
Like, you couldn't have trained them prior to them arriving on where the no onions button is. I could simulate that to where the second a 16-year-old showed up at McDonald's, he already typed in 1,000 no onion orders. But you know what they do? They wait until the real customer's in play. Dude, you don't practice on virtual customers.
Learn on the fly.
Stupid. But listen, and by the way, if anyone's listening to this and you're thinking, man, I like what this guy's saying, then reach out, dude. We can help any company do this.
Oh, yeah, I'll put your link up there and all that stuff, and your Instagram. I mean, just those life lessons. Like, I never heard of the $1 Million Morning, but it's 1 second. I'm alive. Okay, all the other shit doesn't matter.
Well, you should get my book that's coming out here pretty quick. It's called The Hard Way. It's lessons I learned the hard way, so you don't have to.
When's it coming out?
I think I'm just finishing up in the next couple of days.
Oh, definitely.
I'd say 30 days from now.
Sweet. All over it, man.
Hey, but listen to this. I had a buddy of mine. He started a business down in LA, Beverly Hills. He opened up a high-end clothing company.
Oh, boy.
A little boutique clothing store. So after about 3 months, I call him like, what's happening, man? What's happening? He says, dude, we're freaking crushing it. I'm like, awesome, man. That's freaking awesome. He says, yeah, dude, we can't keep everything in stock. The only problem is, man, we're getting a little theft. I'm like, in Beverly Hills, you're getting theft? He said, yeah. I said, what do I do? He says, man, I'm gonna buy one of these $50,000 security systems with all the cameras and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, okay. I called him like a month after. I said, what happened? He said, dude, it turned out my best salespeople, 2 of my best salespeople, were the ones stealing all the merchandise.
Oh.
Yeah, and I said, damn, dude, what'd you do?
Yeah.
I said, what'd you do? He said, I got rid of the cameras. So what that means is, like, folks, if you don't really want to fix your business,
Yeah, exactly.
if you don't really want to increase productivity, if you don't really want to lower retention, if you don't really want to, grow and expand your business, well, then just admit it, sit down, take off the jersey, quit acting like you're playing the game, folks. And here's what's scary, because most owners, they've got people in place that I've talked to, big companies, where, dude, I'm talking to the person, I'm showing them the solution, and it is the solution. And that person doesn't get paid on the profit. That person doesn't get paid on the difference. So guess what? They are going to have a headache in the system. So guess what? They decline, when in reality, I know if the owner or the shareholders or the right people were in the room, there would be no question. So remember that if you guys are sitting at the top thinking, well, my training and development manager handles that. Does your training and development manager participate in an increase? Because if not, I might suggest thinking about a new pay plan for training and development people that incentivize them to growth. Because I can show you how to grow, and it's not a matter of, well, it won't work for my company. It'll work for any company, Jeff. It's like, dude, like action causes like results. I can walk into any company, fix a few things in their training program, and get a 20 to 30% increase in productivity. I can show them how to increase employee retention and customer retention, let alone customer satisfaction. So it's like, how, Brad, how do you do it? I just told you. I'm going to focus on sales, customer service, compliance, and personal and team development. And I'm going to go in there with good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. And then guess what? You're going to go boom, and then it's going to be fixed. And you're going to go, holy crap. It wasn't rocket science. Dude, imagine going to a doctor. Maybe you have a little problem when you pee. It stings. And you go into a doctor, like, no problem. Penicillin will cure that up. But the doctor takes the needle and squirts it next to your arm. And then someone says to you, and by the way, you have no idea that that's not how you do it. Because these companies aren't trying to do this. There's people spending a lot of money on training, bro.
I know.
And they don't realize they're not training. They're exposing.
Yeah.
So I shoot the penicillin next to your arm. You go home. Someone says, hey, Jeff, how's the medicine working? What would you say?
You probably say it's not.
Yeah, you'd say the penicillin doesn't work, man. And I'm
still working.
And you know what? Eventually, you'd live with the pain, and you'd end up dying from gonorrhea. When in reality, all you had to do was turn the needle and put it in your arm, and life would have been better, folks. If I can say anything, turn the needle. Turn the needle.
Love it.
Move the needle.
Fucking love it, man. Dude, you have been, this is the best one I've ever done.
Thank you, man.
This is going to go viral because this is the message that these business, whether the young guy or girl, or doesn't matter the age, watching this, that wants to get to the next level, right now they know how. I need to go get better. I need to go train. Like they don't know any better, right? I'm going to read a book in the morning. I'm going to be thankful. All this little shit you said will make some of these people moping around like it's their last day on earth, get to that next level. And I appreciate it. Again, thank you. You have my cell. Give me a shout soon so we could chat about some of that LinkedIn stuff.
Absolutely. I need your help for a few reasons.
Yeah. So call me. I mean, today or whatever you want.
I want to be a little pretentious, and I'm going to say I'll have my assistant coordinate something.
There you go. By the way, are you moving?
No. I like Nashville.
That place was sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking for some property down in Nashville just to get out of the stupid ass heat. It gets too hot for humans in Las Vegas sometimes. My little girls, I have 6 kids total, but 2 little ones. And there's not a lot of culture and community here. And I just want to find that. But believe it or not, somebody's convincing me, and I'm starting to get excited because I want to make a real difference, to maybe run for governor. And I'm like, dude, if I run for governor, then I can't move. But
that'll be sweet.
Nashville property.
I saw the Instagram. That was pretty cool. Cool, man. Well, coordinate. Let's hop on a call right away for each of us. And I can't thank you enough, man. This was power. This is what everyone needs.
My pleasure.
And I'll make sure I put your Instagram. So if you want to see this guy do this shit every day, all day, they need to follow you, your podcast, all that stuff. I'll list it on here.
Appreciate it, man.
Later, brother, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Talk soon.